So thank you all for taking some time to join us today and talk about our ongoing response to the coronavirus pandemic. We've seen the data, and it tells us a great deal. Obviously, the incredible data, we have to continue to humanize it as much as we possibly can, humanize it and understanding the toll it's taking on human lives, the toll it's taking on our families and our mental health. Humanize it and the impact it's taken on our economy, the significant challenges, as I've spoken with some of you, of living through 1918, 1932, and 1968 all at the same time in the first and second quarter, now third quarter of 2020, has been an amazing challenge for so many of us. Here in our state alone, nearly 64,000, over 64,000 cases as of today. Yesterday, we crossed the very sad threshold of 1,000 lives lost in this great state, and over 100 here in Richland County, still with a number of our zip codes from all across the county, I might add, being affected adversely. This state is at the epicenter of a great pandemic, and we've been doing all that we possibly can on the local level to try and first mitigate the spread of the virus, and now focusing as much as we possibly can on suppressing the number of cases that we're seeing. I'm thankful for the leadership of our city council over the course of this entire crisis, and certainly the most recent efforts to institute a mask ordinance. And we're going to continue in a more maybe modern way to try and strongly encourage compliance with the mask ordinance as we move forward. We have seen, I will tell you, and many of you have shared with me anecdotal evidence, significant compliance with the ordinance, people understanding their collective responsibility to try and keep our citizens healthy and allowing us to hopefully at some point return to some sense of normalcy. Our code enforcement and fire marshal have also commented that they've seen significant compliance. I believe the city has only issued maybe 5 citations so far, mostly to businesses, and we'll continue doing so to enforce the ordinance as long as it's in place. And I see nothing changing with that anytime soon. Our goal is to try and suppress the incidence of COVID-19 cases as much as we possibly can, and to put in place an orderly step to probably get us back to normalcy sometime in the foreseeable future. Today, we're excited about announcing our Mask Up Columbia SC competition, trying to use the power of social media and obviously trying to find some bright lights in the challenges that we're facing, to encourage folks to participate in this great public education and social engagement campaign. It's a challenge. Folks can go to the maskupcolumbiasc.com website, post a photo. It's an opportunity to put your photo or video up where folks can show off either the individual or create a face mask. They can demonstrate the mask making. Many of you have seen people actually monetize this, not just doing it for themselves, but also making masks and selling them. It's become a nice business for some folks. And also creating TikToks showing off their face masks. I have some TikTokers in my house. I'm not a TikToker. I've actually borrowed a ring light from one of my daughters to hold this press conference. But I want to encourage folks to participate in the Mask Up Columbia campaign. I posted a photograph earlier of me wearing my mask. So I think I was one of the first folks. I'm not sure if I'm eligible to win anything, but we want to encourage people to take their mask, take a selfie, have someone take a photo of them, a video, a TikTok, and post it to your Facebook, your Twitter, your TikTok account, and make sure to use the hashtag MaskUpColumbiaSC, Mask Up Columbia SC. or actually even just upload your face mask content to the Mask Up Columbia SC website, which is maskupcolumbiasc.com. We're really thankful to the folks at TAPS Outpost. They've been amazingly helpful in helping us put together this website, and hopefully it's just a fun way to try and get people to wear masks. We know that when you wear masks, and that helps protect you, it helps protect the folks around you. It's a simple barrier, a very simple old school barrier used over 100 years ago when we dealt with the great pandemic of the second decade of the 20th century. That stops respiratory droplets from traveling into the air and onto other people. If you're wearing it, someone's coughing or sneezing or even talking or raising their voice, it helps protect you, keep you healthy, and certainly if you're healthy, then those around you are healthy as well. The CDC, our South Carolina DHEC, our state epidemiologist, Dr. Bell, everyone recommends, all public health officials recommend that we wear cloth face coverings in public settings when around people, and even outside, anyone outside of our household. It's so important that we do all that we possibly can to try and keep one another healthy. If in fact we do it, then we can emerge from this particularly dark pandemic night together. We can do it sooner, and we can get back to school. We can get back to work. We can reclaim the economy. And but we can only do that if in fact we do it together. I want to remind folks that you don't need to wear a mask if you have symptoms, or obviously if you have symptoms, you should isolate yourself at home and get the care that you need. But even if you can still pass the disease if you're asymptomatic. So wear a mask whenever you're not physically distancing yourself from others at home. And masks are the minimum. I want to encourage everyone to continue to understand that the power of physical distancing as we try to suppress this virus is still critical. No one wants to be in the position to have to consider additional stay-at-home orders, but at some point we have to think about what we need to do to finally put a plan in place to help us get through this. We as a country, as a state, we're struggling through this, and we all must do more. Wearing a mask helps us all get to that end. So I'll stop there. Encourage all of you, if you include all my reporter friends, if you aren't already wearing your mask as we're having this press conference, to maybe even post yours, and encourage some others to follow your lead as well. Taylor, I'm not sure if you have any other slides. If we do, can put those up as well. But right now, I'm happy to try and take some questions from our friends. I think we're encouraging everyone to raise their hands, raise your hand feature, and we'll open up one by one.
Chris Trainer has his hand raised.
Hey, Mayor, can you hear me?
Hey, buddy, we can't do virtual thumb wrestling match, so
we have to save that for the real thing.
Sounds good.
Maybe we can do that at TAPS Outpost. When do you, and I know numbers are, there's a lot of factors that make positive test numbers go up and down over the days, but have you been looking, when do you think we could see mask wearing in Columbia and Richland County manifest itself in the numbers going down in Richland County?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question, Chris. And Taylor, maybe can you throw up a copy of our dashboard, our city dashboard that we monitor regularly. Chris, I wish I had a perfect answer to that question. If you look at the daily new cases in Richland County, this is the dashboard that we look at every single day. We see pretty steady trend. We saw some upticks. We've seen a couple of downticks as well. I wish it was just masks. Masks, again, is the minimum. Right now, what we're seeing across our state is a significant amount of community spread that puts us into, and you guys have seen more of these charts than I know you care to imagine. If you look at the green zone, yellow zone, orange, and red, red being the incidence of 25 cases per 100,000. A few days this week alone, I think we exceeded 40 cases per 100,000. And that's in almost every single county in the state. Those that were not bright red were deep orange. So we're looking at a amount of community spread that's so significant that if you look at the spread and then you look at the mitigation measures or suppression measures that usually are recommended to deal with those, then they would tell you that as a state, we should be doing a whole lot more, including the recommendations. This is from the CDC. This is from Johns Hopkins and Harvard. This is from any and every reputable source. The governor should be looking at, we're in such a state of crisis, he should be looking at stay-at-home orders. So, and at very least, should be looking at mandatory mask wearing ordinances. That's a long way of saying that in the absence of those more significant measures, we've got to make sure that we're doing this. Whether or not that will manifest itself in the numbers, in a way in which we're able to measure the effectiveness of this to drive those numbers down, I'm not sure we can ever expect the impact to show up in these numbers in a way in which it gives us a guide. And that's what we need right now. Been dialoguing with our school superintendents, trying to get some guidance from them as to what they need from us as policymakers, some of the tough decisions that need to be made that might allow them to be in a position to open up schools and open those schools up safely, realizing that masks, again, are the minimum. What else should we be doing? What's that target we should be looking at? Going back to your question, is it 10 cases per 100,000? Obviously the goal is full suppression. The goal is to get down to 1 case per 100,000 citizens. If you're able to get there, then we're at a place where we know that the viral spread has been stopped and we've defeated COVID-19. But I wish I could say that with all the other moving targets and factors influencing the data, I think it's very difficult to measure just what a mask ordinance does, particularly recognizing the porous borders that each of the 46 counties in the state might have, along with the other, literally, people coming from other states and other for that matter. So it's a little tougher to measure than we might be able to measure some other simpler issues. But it does not mitigate our responsibility to do the right thing and do the smart thing and do the thing that's consistent with every single public health professional's advice that we've seen so far. What else we have? Yeah.
Mayor, if I can ask something, what sort of prizes might we see folks win if they go onto this website?
You know the prizes. What are the prizes, Taylor? I don't, Brista. I would say lunch with me, but I'm being sequestered at home, and I'm not sure that's much of a prize anymore. We're gonna have to. I'm about to get back with you on that one. I don't even know the doggone prizes. Taylor and Scott.
I'll let Scott handle that one.
You guys probably prepared me with that one. I don't even know the answer to that one. I will tell you, Bristow, the love and adoration of your mayor is certainly one big plus. Taylor, you got something else for me?
Nope, not yet.
All right. So I think honestly, Bristow, I do know that the intent was to try and it's amazing how social media attention, the ability to like and the virally, for lack of a better term, to share our own images or videos is in and of itself a bit of a prize nowadays. So the goal is to try and tap into the American cultural psyche of all of us right now. We love social media. It is where we all congregate now, and literally where we all congregate, particularly during the pandemic. So trying to use it as a tool, maybe even the same gratification we might get from X number of likes on Instagram or Facebook or retweets. I know that that's at the core, but we probably need to go ahead and pepper in a couple of sources that might get folks much more motivated to participate. You got a hands up, Taylor?
No other hands up at the moment.
Okay.
Well, I'll ask: is there a hashtag or something people should be using on if they're posting on other social media?
Yeah, it's hashtag Mask Up Columbia SC. Hashtag Mask Up Columbia SC. Mm-hmm. Okay. And tell them post it everywhere. Put the mask on. I'll be posting in a second. I did submit my mine to the website, but I'll be posting regularly today. This is my fraternity Kappa Alpha Psi. So this is where we're starting, and got, like many of you, have a range of masks. So I'll be posting a bunch of them.
Chris Trainer has his hand raised.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, this might be an odd question, but just because of what just a choice of words you said earlier, have you been exposed to COVID-19, or when you said you were sequestered, is that just?
Oh no, I'm talking about the rules of DeAndre Benjamin. No,
okay.
no, I'm in my living room. No, nothing. No, I think we really want to encourage folks, and I've been on the phone this morning with two of our superintendents, on the phone with some of our state senators. We're spending so much time talking about some of the basic things we should be doing to mitigate the spread of the virus. I think we kind of lost the essence of the bigger things we all should be doing. No one wants to talk about stay home, stay safe orders, or I guess the government called this a work from home order, whatever you called it back then. But the reality is that if we don't have some very specific things that we need to do, we should all be in the same mentality that we were back in March and April, and we should stay home. We should do our darndest to stay off the streets and stay home with our families. So that was the comment. No, I'm not exposed to anything, Chris, but I appreciate that. All right.
No other hands up.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank y'all. Y'all help us pump this thing up, push it out, and see if we can get some participation from folks in the city, and particularly, obviously, with a lot of our younger folks who might spend more time on social media than some of us. We've got a significant uptick with teenagers as well as with those in their 20s. So hopefully this makes a direct impact in those two particular groups. All right. Thank y'all. God bless y'all.